Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and the clouds began rolling in around noontime, and lots of clouds moved in this afternoon. This is what it looked like looking down from our Wenatchee Heights cross camera down at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley, and you can see some clouds and some low-hanging clouds out there, and that's just the beginning of a storm system that's moving in, and we're going to see a couple of rounds of storminess as we move into the next few days. The first round of snow will be tonight and into Thursday morning. We'll see about an inch or two of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley, so when you wake up tomorrow morning to make that morning commute, be aware that it might be a little bit slippery. We could see some freezing rain as well overnight. And then round number 2 for snow will happen Thursday into Friday, and that will be our best shot at some accumulating snow, as we will see, I believe, between 2 and 4 inches of snow in the Wenatchee area. It could be a little bit more and it could be a little bit less. It's hard to predict this kind of thing, but one thing we do know, that this is a huge storm system and it is going to bring us a lot of precipitation. I'm going to talk much more about this system, including a winter storm watch that will be in effect a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. More than a month ago, a Waterville man allegedly armed himself with a shotgun when he learned of his wife's sexual encounter with a 15-year-old boy. Now the wife has been charged as well. Well, for the second time in less than a week, a school bus in north central Washington was involved in a traffic accident on Tuesday. And in addition to catching bad guys and otherwise protecting their communities, law enforcement officers in north central Washington have been showing their Christmas spirit this year. We'll show you more about that. But first, we begin tonight. The wife of a Wenatchee Valley attorney accused of domestic violence wants to keep her medical records from being used as evidence in the case. Paul Kuby is battling a charge of second-degree domestic assault in Douglas County Superior Court. His wife, who suffered a broken nose under disputed circumstances at their home back in July, told a judge on Monday that it happened when she and Kuby scuffled over a family photo. She went to the Central Washington Hospital for a checkup the next day and now wants records of that visit suppressed in Kuby's criminal case. A visiting judge says he'll decide on that request at a future hearing. Kuby is also charged in federal court for an alleged domestic assault against his wife in Yellowstone National Park in early September. Well, more than a month ago, a Waterville man allegedly armed himself with a shotgun when he learned of his wife's sexual encounter with a 15-year-old boy. Now the wife has been charged as well. Andreana Renee Jones, who's 20 years old, was charged Tuesday with third-degree child rape. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say she admitted having sex with the teenager in late October. When she confessed on November 3rd to her husband, 21-year-old Dylan O'Gara Smith, police say he picked up a shotgun and walked the streets of Waterville threatening to confront the youth. He's charged with second-degree assault, harassment, and related counts. Both husband and wife remain free from custody. Well, for the second time in less than a week, a school bus in north central Washington was involved in a traffic accident. This time it was yesterday. This time also it was an Ellensburg school district bus that was in a head-on collision with a car. Ellensburg police say about 4 p.m. the driver of a Subaru suffered a medical emergency that caused them to cross the center line near University Way and Alder Street and then collide with the bus. 2 kids on that bus were treated for minor cuts and scrapes, and the driver of the Subaru suffered an ankle injury. Last Friday, a Quincy school bus was rear-ended in dense fog by 2 different vehicles on White Trail Road. The driver of the second vehicle, a tour bus, died at the scene, and several children and passengers on the tour bus were treated for minor injuries. Well, in addition to catching bad guys and otherwise protecting their communities, law enforcement officers in north central Washington have been showing their Christmas spirit this year, whether buying toys for kids in need or just posing with Santa. Here are some of the festive images they've shared. Coming up next, Club Pet, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society's boarding and doggy daycare facility, they're shutting down as of January 15th. The state's Transportation Commission says it's time for Washington to start moving toward a pay-per-mile tax system for drivers as gas taxes continue to dwindle. And Seattle rapper and songwriter Macklemore has released the video for his new Christmas song, and it features Wenatchee's Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Some jobs take more than skill. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Giza Credit Union, we help you support law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, and veterans. With every purchase you make with a Giza Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Giza Local Heroes Affinity debit card.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back. And in other news, Club Pet, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society's boarding and doggy daycare facility, is shutting down as of January 15th. In a letter to clients of Club Pet, Executive Director Don Davies cited the state's minimum wage, which will rise from $12 an hour to $13.50 an hour in January, as part of the reason. Davies said Club Pet, which opened 18 years ago, has operated, quote, at a significant loss over the past 10 years, unquote. She said for Club Pet to stay afloat, the rates for boarding and daycare would need to nearly triple, something customers have said they just can't afford. The Club Pet facility, adjacent to the Humane Society's main building, will be repurposed for an expansion of the Humane Society's veterinary clinic. They had planned a $1.5 million expansion of the shelter to house that clinic. Davies said remodeling Club Pet for the clinic will reduce that cost and provide more parking. Well, the state's Transportation Commission says it's time for Washington State to start moving toward a pay-per-mile tax system for drivers as revenue for gas taxes continues to dwindle. The growth in use of electric and hybrid vehicles is cut into revenue generated from those gas taxes. The plan approved by the Commission Tuesday asked the legislature to impose what's being called a road usage charge for electric vehicles and hybrids within the next 5 years, adding certain fuel-efficient cars in 5 to 10 years, then all vehicles to the pay-per-mile system sometime around the year 2030. The fee under discussion would be in the 2.4 cent per mile range. Currently, motorists pay a 49.4 cents per gallon tax on fuel, with the bulk of that revenue going to transportation projects. The per-mile system has been under study since 2012. Also being considered is a privacy measure that would shield drivers' mileage information from public disclosure laws. Well, Seattle rapper and songwriter Macklemore has released the video for his new Christmas song, and it features Wenatchee's Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort. The song, It's Christmas Time, is Macklemore's reflection on his Christmases as a kid. And as a kid, he spent a lot of happy days at Mission Ridge, said Tony Hickok. He's the marketing director for the resort. It was a quick turnaround for the video as the Mission Ridge footage was shot just over a week ago on December 8th. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Wenatchee Valley College President Jim Richardson says he will have to take some furlough days off next year as a result of a projected $1 million budget shortfall next year. Richardson says the college has overcome tough financial times in the past. In tonight's feature story, here's how he described it on a recent In Focus interview with NCWLIFE special correspondent Steve Hare.
Well, I think if you look back in 2008 and 9, the school went through not the same thing. It was actually different. It was when the recession hit and the state actually cut its budgets to us by, millions of dollars. And we, made it through there. We did very similar thing. We actually had 34 layoffs of full-time people in 2009, I believe it was. And, we made it through. We started rebuilding. And, we've served a lot of students since then. We've added four-year programs since then. We've done a lot for the communities that we serve. And I think as we go forward, you'll see students, hopefully, more students coming, obviously would be a good thing. But, we're still going to serve our communities.
I know that on your website, you also have a budget explanation as
right.
to what the situation is currently and some of the frequently asked questions that people can access. One that kind of caught my eye, of course, had to do with your salary.
Oh, yes.
How has that been impacted by this current budget?
Well, I am, like everybody else, I'm taking furlough days. And so, your salary, obviously, you get less when you take furlough days. The budget itself isn't impacting my salary as a whole right now. What did happen and is explained on the website is last year discovered that I wasn't actually getting my raises that I've
understand that you are guaranteed a 3% raise each year.
Yeah,
on your contract.
My contract guarantees me that. My contract is with our board. And that started in 2015. I didn't get those. So it looks like I got a $40,000 raise when really what they were doing is paying back pay. It all ended in one check in February.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get to those details, let's take a peek outside our weather window. What a beautiful shot this afternoon, isn't it? Looking down at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera at Wenatchee Heights. And you can see some clouds hung around most of the afternoon. That cloud deck lowered about every hour this afternoon until we got to dark. And that's ahead of the storm system that's moving in on us. And we will talk much more about that in a second. But as far as high temperatures go, just didn't get that that warm once again today. We were just where we're supposed to be for this time of year as far as high temperatures. 31, our unofficial high today, and that's right where we should be for this time of year. A low temperature 26 and 23 is where we should be. Record high 52 set back in 1976, and our record low 3 below zero. It was a cold one back in 1984. We're at 6.76 inches for precipitation. That's from January 1st until now. But I'll tell you what, folks, when we get together on Monday, that could be almost an inch higher than that. We'll tell you why in a second. Sunrise this morning, 7:43, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:11. Let's take a peek at how your Thursday is going to shape up now as we check on tomorrow's temperatures. And not a lot of change once again from today. We've been pretty much the same over the past few days. Temperatures basically in the lower to mid 30s, and that's where we'll be once again for your Thursday, with Wenatchee's high right around the freezing mark at 32 degrees. Let's just go right to that surface loop now. And tonight we will see cloudy skies and a 60% chance for snow. It's all because of this wraparound area of low pressure. It's gigantic up in the Gulf of Alaska, and it's going to bring snow into the Cascades and overnight into our area. The Cascades could see as much as 3 to 5 feet of snow as we move through this week and into the upcoming weekend. For Thursday, cloudy skies and 80% chance for snow. And then by the afternoon, we're going to warm up a little bit, folks, and that means a rain-snow mix in the afternoon. But I think we will see some pretty good accumulating snow overnight tonight and into Thursday. About 4 to 5 inches of snow, I think, at the most. Friday, cloudy skies. It will be a little bit warmer for Friday. So we're going to go all with rain for Friday with this gold color and red. A lot of heavy rain, and lots of Washington could have some flooding issues as we move through the end of the week and also into the upcoming weekend. For Saturday, cloudy, a 60% chance for morning rain. Cloudy in the afternoon. We could see temperatures in the Tri-Cities in the mid-50s as we move our way into the upcoming weekend. Mostly cloudy on Sunday as well, with mild conditions. Maybe an isolated flurry or two as just some scattered showers move around Washington State. I think most of that will be in the northern mountains of Washington. For Monday, mostly sunny. We will stay unseasonably warm. Remember, 31 is our normal high temperature. We'll be into the mid and well into the upper 30s on Monday. For Tuesday, mostly sunny. We will cool down just a tad, back down into the mid 30s, but another storm system is poised to move in. The question now, will it move in time for Christmas? We'll talk more about that tomorrow night right here on the NCWLIFE Evening News. But as far as this storm system goes, here is our 3-day rain accumulation totals. I don't know if you can see Wenatchee, but it says 9.63 inches, or I should say 0.93 inches of rain expected out of this storm system. That's a 3-day total, so almost an inch of rain expected. For snow, we expect about 4.3 inches, our 3-day snow accumulation. We're right on the edge of the very heavy snowfall in the Cascades, but will we see a white Christmas? Boy, I don't know. With all the warm temperatures and the rain, we'll just have to wait and see. Now let's take a look at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. And tonight, we will drop down to a mild 24. That's about where we should be for this time of year. 32, it's going to be a snowy one. As I mentioned, a very slippery and snowy Thursday morning commute, so be aware of that tomorrow. It's going to snow pretty much throughout the day on Thursday, an 80% chance for rain then as we warm up 8 degrees from Thursday to Friday. Still some leftover rain on Saturday and 40 degrees for our high, and we'll stay in the upper 30s on Sunday and Monday before we cool back next Tuesday with mostly cloudy skies. The high temperature then of 35 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales.
Where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good Wednesday to you. An early season battle for the Big Nine lead in girls bowling took an interesting step yesterday as Eastmont knocked off Eisenhower 4-zip. And with the Wenatchee sweep of Davis, it creates a three-way tie for first between the Wildcats, Panthers, and Cadets. But hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves first. Let's head to the bowling yesterday. Eastmont hosted Eisenhower at Eastmont Lanes. The Cadets came out in a Big Nine leaders, holding an 11-pin lead heading into the final frame of the first game, but that's when the Wildcats came through, led by Cody Hull's 200. Eastmont came out on top, 867 to 839. Game two, a back-and-forth seesaw battle with 182s by both Brittany Hastings and Katie Heights. That sealed Eastmont's victory 775 to 718. The Wildcats won the first Baker 193 to 142, so they knew they'd won the match. The final Baker came down to the 10th, where Hines picked up a 1-2-4-10 washout to tie it at 147, then struck to give Eastmont a 157 to 147 victory. Coach Christy Bingy was very happy with how her girls bowled, including the 200 from leadoff bowler Colby Hull.
You know, she's a young bowler. This is her second year, basically, of bowling, and she's learning more and more about bowling, and so she's getting better and better and better. And yes, we really needed that 200 to help us cinch that win on that first game. Yeah, Brittany is going to college. She's a high school student in college, and so she's missed some of our matches earlier on in this year, and so, but she's been to practice regularly, and we just went to Tower Classic over in Tacoma, and I think we came together as a team at that point at Tower because they saw how much you have to work and how much we have to work together as a team to win matches. I think that they know how important this week has been. We talked about it. I said I'll try not to micromanage you too much, but I'm going to be there and I'm going to be saying, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And they said, okay, coach. They really like it if I stand off a little bit and I'm not right there telling them their every move to make, but sometimes you have to.
Well, here you see the totals. Brittany Hastings finished with a 187 and a 182 to lead the way. The Wildcats improved to 5-2 with yesterday's victory. Now, just down the alley at Eastmont Lanes, Wenatchee was hosting the Davis Pirates. Jaden Thompson was on fire in the first game, collecting 9 strikes in a row to finish with a 246. How about that? When's the last time you got 2 strikes in a row, let alone 9? The Panthers went on for the 844 and 696 win. In game 2, Kyla Hankins just continued her steady ways. She followed up her first game 227 with a 204 as she continues to lead the Big Nine in average as Wenatchee won at 745 to 591. Wenatchee won both Bakers as well to earn the 4-zip sweep. That sets up a great match for today with Eastmont hosting Wenatchee at 2 o'clock. Here you see the latest standings, by the way, in the Big Nine, atop the Big Nine standings. Still a season left to play, a lot of season left after Christmas, but today's match will play a big hand in which teams the Big Nine has a chance to host the district tournament. We'll have the cameras out there this afternoon. It's a delayed broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel. We'll have more on that coming up tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard in prep girls basketball last night. Cascade gave Chelan a battle, but the Goats came out on top, 51-44. Ephrata had no trouble winning its non-league game against College Place, coming out on top, 61-40. On the Les Schwab prep boys basketball scoreboard, Cascade held tough against Chelan in the first half, trailing at the break, that is, 27-24. But the Goats turned on the offense in the third quarter, outscoring the Kodiaks 32-20 in the frame. Went on for the 80-59 victory. Chelan was led by the 30 points of Connor Wilson. Cole Warnicki paced Cascade in the loss with 25 points. Also last night, Etihad went to Waterville and beat the Shockers by a final of 69-45. On the wrestling mats under the lights in Moses Lake last night, the Chiefs defending the home turf by downing Eastmont, or the home mat, if you will, 72-12. The final in the boys match, but the Eastmont girls came away with a big road victory, winning it by a final of 30-27. We'll have more on the Seahawks and find out what the injury situation is with Coach Pete Carroll. We'll have that for you tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And recapping tonight's top story, the wife of a Wenatchee Valley attorney accused of domestic violence wants to keep her medical records from being used as evidence in the case. Paul Kuby is battling a charge of second-degree domestic assault in Douglas County Superior Court. His wife, who suffered a broken nose under disputed circumstances at their home back in July, told the judge on Monday that it happened when she and Kuby scuffled over a family photo. She went to the Central Washington Hospital emergency room for a checkup the next day and now wants records of that visit suppressed in Kuby's criminal case. A visiting judge says he'll decide on the request at a future hearing. Kuby is also charged in federal court for an alleged domestic assault against his wife in one of our national parks. That happened in early September. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. We invite you to start your Thursday morning right here live at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The big thing we're going to be following tomorrow during this program is the incoming winter storms. A couple of them are coming our way. One's going to bring us, of course, as Grant mentioned, some snow for everybody, and then rain for everybody. Christmas, is less than a week away. Are we going to have a white Christmas? I don't know. Grant's the expert on that. Plus everything you're used to get your day going. Thursday morning live, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.